Hello, I am Wanderer001 and this is my review of the Incipio DualPro case for the Essential Phone 1. This is a dual layer case, so it has an interior and exterior, which is something that I look for when I'm looking for a phone case for a new phone. To me, in some cases, it's almost as important as the phone itself. I do know that a lot of people like to not put a case on their phone, but I am not one of those people. I've dropped my phone far too many times to realize that a phone case in some way, shape, or form is better than no case at all. Likewise, having a screen protector is also a good thing to have, but also knowing if your screen protector is compatible with a phone case that you're getting. In this case, there is a screen protector on here. It's linked over there in the corner. It's also from Incipio, so it should work with this case. Spoiler, it does, but I did not know that at the time of getting this particular case. I like dual layer cases, so let's get the Essential phone out of the way here for a moment and talk about the case itself. As I stated, I like dual layer cases. Part of that is because I came from my original smartphone, the Otterbox commuter case. That was my go-to case. I liked it. I liked the dual construction. I liked the interior and the exterior combined protection, as opposed to just something that either is rubbery and slips on it or is a hard plastic and slips on it. So, like I said, you're getting two separate components. First being this internal rubber layer. It's not really rubber. It's a thermoplastic. So it's not quite rubber, but it's softer than the exterior shell, which is good because if we flip it over here, you can see while there is some dust on it, if this was a pure rubber case, it would be horribly covered in dust. You notice you have cutouts here. This is the interior for your fingerprint scanner, camera, and the LED. Now, want to talk about the interior portion here for a little bit because on a lot of other phone cases, you'll notice that there is no either air cushion on the inside. They don't have any texture, just a little branding there, which is perfectly fine. Flipping it over and looking at the exterior, you'll notice that there are no large rubber bumpers on the exterior. So there really is no full corner protection on this, as I've seen in a lot of other cases. I kind of wish it would have that, but I'm not going to complain about, again, for what you're getting. So the back, you can see the fingerprint area actually has a large, nice lip around it. It's nice and smooth. It's not a rough plastic. I appreciate that. You've got the Incipio logo here, pops up a little bit, adds a little flair. And then coming down there to the bottom, you have your cutouts for your speaker, your USB-C type, and then your mic. So that is the internal layer. And again, do a little floppy test there. You can see it has a little give, but not a lot. The buttons on the side are full coverage. So if I flip this over, you'll notice that no light is bleeding through. So if you need full coverage for your keys, this is definitely something to look at and consider. Moving on to the exterior, this is your harder polycarbonate backing. Again, I'm going to flip it over momentarily, show you what the inside is, show you this nice giant grip side here, which I appreciate and loathe at the same time because while it helps keep the case on, it makes it a real pain to take off. On the other side, you do have a cutout area for the keys, and then again, smaller lip and a larger lip grip down there. There's not a lot to look at with this, which is both a plus and a minus. What I will say is this is supposed to be some sort of soft touch finish. It picks up fingerprints horribly. It's not a matte plastic, but it's also not a glossy. It's this weird in between, but it does pick up fingerprints horribly. Now, what you'll also notice on both the external and internal portions of this, hey, your Essential phone there, if you can see it in that shiny backing, has these two connector ports for add-ons. What do you not have on this case? Connector ports for the add-ons, or cutouts for the add-ons. It's something that you're going to have to give up if you're looking at this case. So in my case, I do not have any Essential accessories, so I do not really mind. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you putting the case on the Essential phone here. Realistically, it just slips in. There's no rhyme or reason. You don't have to work your buttons in first. So that's what it looks like, just with the rubber. And then for this one, I do recommend using the large lip side first and then coming around and then just gently pushing into place. And there you go, it's on. That's the easy part. That's the part I appreciate. It's the getting it off that's a pain in the butt. But let's take a look at what you get all around. So this is the full case in its construction. You'll notice that it does fit the screen protector from Incipio quite well. You'll notice that it does have little grips along the side here, so it comes up just enough to give you some coverage. It's not a crazy fat lip like you have with the Otterbox commuter case, so you don't really have it interfere with your swiping. This side you do feel a little more than the other. One of the things that I dislike is because it only grips here, and you have the cutout for the buttons, it is a little, I'll bring it a little closer to the camera so you can see that, it is a little looser in that corner, so it does peel away a little bit. Coming down to the bottom there, that's what it looks like fully encased. It does have a nice large cutout for the USB-C type, so even if I take this, which is my Pixel USB-C connector, and throw it in there, you could see that it worked perfectly fine. Now, the one thing that I do wish it had, and same thing I wish my Pixel case over there had, was a port cover. I don't know why they got rid of port covers. It is what it is. I don't work, well, I work in dusty environments. This is my wife's phone. She doesn't have to worry about it so much, but eventually, even just through daily wear, that's going to get dusty. So coming around to the back, like I said before, it has a nice open window for your cameras and your LED. You'll notice that it's got the internal rubbery part right here and here, as well as the exterior. Now, the one thing that's for me is it does have a larger cutout around the fingerprint sensor. Pixel case that I have is a little tighter. In fact, it's right on the sensor, so we don't have any of this back exposed. But I mean, if you have the Essential phone, which is supposed to be one of the more innovative designs, you kind of want that ceramic backing poking through a little bit. But the problem is the ceramic backing on the Essential phone is a fingerprint magnet, especially if you just get the black model. So you're going to have fingerprints around there. But I digress. That's only a small portion of a small gripe with this case. And you'll notice that the logo here lines up with the external, just to give it a little flair. Now, I'm 50-50 on if I actually want to take this case off for you. But what I will say is the easiest thing to do is if you start here at the bottom, because as you can see there's a little give because there's not much gripping there. If you start there and work the side that has the buttons, there we go, lying, and it's the opposite side, you can start sliding it off, or we'll do it actually on the side that has the buttons. So there you go, because it has less grip. So it's only gripping here and here as opposed to the other side, which grips the entire side of the phone. And then from there, it's, like I said, it's a bit of a pain, but you can kind of come up in there and just slip the phone out. What I would recommend doing is just kind of keeping it in frame would be nice, but just slipping it out of the bottom there, because that's the easiest way to get it out, and then just taking the case apart after you do that, because like I said, because of that large grip side, which again is really nice if you don't want this to fall off your phone, but if you're trying to take the case off, it becomes a bit of a tricky thing there. So there we go, now it's off the phone. Show you putting it on one more time. Again, you really don't have to pick a side, you can just slip it on either side like that. This side, I do recommend using the side that has the full grip and then slipping it into place like that. Now, the question comes down to pricing. Depending on where you get this, if you get it from Incipio's site directly, it's going to be $30. Now, both the Incipio site and the Amazon site are very lacking in the details. Even if we look at the box here that it comes in, it's very lacking in details. I don't know why Incipio does that, because it was very similar with the screen protector, lacking of information. $20 if you get this on Amazon. The one last thing I will leave you with is the buttons. The buttons, while not super stiff, do have enough give that it offers enough tactile resistance, but you could still feel it. The power button, in my opinion, is a little spongier than I would like for the rest of them, but that is a small gripe if you are looking for a 2-level case protection for your Essential phone ph-1. So I have been Wanderer 001. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.